What's up, YouTube? It's your boy WizCat77, bringing yet another deck profile to you. This time it's the Gravekeepers. I know I've been away for a while. It's been a long time since you heard my voice. So long that I actually had a friend of mine start to troll my pages by the name of Yokin88. That's right, I called you out. But he had good reason to. It's been too long before I put up another video, but you don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to try to get as many videos up in a month as I can. Starting with this one. This is the Gravekeeper deck, my little version, my little twist on it. I'm going to give you the monsters, the spells, and the traps, and I'm going to explain some deck choices as I go through it. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it.
First, you got 3 Gravekeepers Commandant, staple. 3 Gravekeepers Descendant. 3 staple spies here. 3 broken recruiters. One of my favorite cards in the deck, Gravekeeper's Visionary. Gravekeeper's Assailant. Yes, it is super rare. I don't know if you can see that YouTube, but you know, got my hands on a super rare one. All right, next we got the 3 Necro Valley, 3 Pot of Duality, 2 Broken Tribute, 2 Gravekeeper Steel, 1 Lord Darkness, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole. And of course, you gotta have the Book of Moon for the Gravekeepers. All right, on to the traps. We got the 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Dark Bride, 2 Compulse, 1 Torrential Tribute, 1 Starlight Road, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Deep Prison, and another favorite tech card of mine, 1 Rite of Spirit. All right, back up to the monsters here. As you probably counted, I only run 14 Gravekeepers monsters. Yep, just 14. Kind of like how Frazier Smith did it back in the day, but don't compare me to Frazier Smith. We got the 3 Commandants, which is pretty much a staple with this guy, Recruiter, when he came out. He searches for Commandant, which searches for Necro Valley, you know, pretty much standard stuff. You got 3 Gravekeepers Descendant, you know, destroy any card on the field by tributing Gravekeepers. Same thing, another combos, have Descendant, tribute Recruiter. Destroy any card, search out this guy, go get Necro Valley, let the fun commence. Or, you know, if you already got a spot set, go get the Recruiter or the Descendant, whichever you don't have in your hand. You normal summon, you know, and then let it go from there. Most of the stuff is pretty much standard Gravekeeper stuff, except for this guy here. Most people don't play the Visionary, but honestly, Visionary is one of my favorite cards. I like Visionary because he's big, especially with Necro Valley on the field, and your graveyard full of Gravekeepers. In this deck, he can get as big as, let's do the math here, 2, 6, 12, 18, 24. He can get as big as 48 plus 5, that's 53. He can get as big as 53 in this deck, which is nothing to sneeze at. And for those of you that don't know his effect, let me pick him up here, read him. He's, you can normal summon this card by tributing 1 Gravekeeper's monster. Notice that he is 8 stars. This card gains 200 attack for each Gravekeeper's monster in your graveyard. If this face-up card on the field will be destroyed, you're going to discard 1 Gravekeeper monster instead. Now, I know that seems kind of counterintuitive by running only 14 Gravekeeper's monsters, but I think the strategy works with a few tech choices that I have in here, and I will show you in a second. On to the spells. You know, you got the 3 standard Necro Valley, staple, 3 duality. Since we're only running 14 monsters, it's important to get to those monsters, especially the searchers, like Spy and Recruiter, to get things popping. So once you get things popping with that, you know, you get the duality, get your Spy, get your Recruiter, whatever you need at the moment, set it, you know, and you get the engine going. Okay, you got the 2 Broken Tribute here. They had to take this card down to 2, even though it's very specific. Only Gravekeepers play it. It's just that broken. And it seems counterintuitive with the Visionary, but I'll tell you that tech trap choice, that Rite of Spirit that I have, it works very well with it. With just having 1 Recruiter, you play the Royal Tribute. Even if you got Visionary in your hand, nothing you can do with it. Discard it to the graveyard. Just bring it back later with Rite of Spirit, and you know, commence the dancing. Also, this card right here works well with Visionary and Royal Tribute actually, and that's Gravekeeper Steel or Stele, which is actually how it's pronounced. You know, it allows you to get back 2 of your Gravekeepers from your graveyard that, you know, those 2 that you couldn't get out of your hand before you had to play the tribute, because the first turn tribute is devastating, especially in this format, because people are running more monsters to compensate for the addition of Heavy Storm. You know, they're not. It's not a trap heavy format like it used to be. It's a monster and spell heavy format. You got the Allure of Darkness, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Book of Moon, of course, are all staples. All right. 2 Solemn Warnings, pretty much standard. Dark Bribe, I like Dark Bribe in the Gravekeeper's deck because it helps you keep your setup. I mean, with how many traps I run here? 2, 4, 6, 12 traps. Yeah, it's essential to keep your setup. You know, that Heavy Storm, no, negate it. Draw a card. You know, negating those 1-ofs is pretty crucial in this deck, and you don't really care if they draw a card, especially when you're gating stuff like Heavy Storm, Dark Hole. You know, you don't want to negate, you know, cards that they can pull into another one of, you know, and just have it be useless. You want to negate the 1-ofs like the Heavy Storm and the Dark Hole, the Torrential Tribute. You know, you want to save for cards like that. Starlight Road, I don't like Starlight Road, to be honest with you. But when you run 12 traps, you kind of need to run Starlight Road. You might need to run 2, but a lot of times it just sits there dead because the opponent knows it's a freaking Starlight Road. It hasn't moved the entire game. It's just sitting there, you know, with the shine just facing the mat. You know, just silhouette of the Stardust just face down the whole game. You're not going to play Heavy Storm if you got 2 or more out there. They're not stupid. You know, unless they got some way to negate the Stardust from coming out, negating Starlight Road completely. They're just not going to play it. They're not going to fall for the bluff. Starlight Road is too easy to read, but running 12 traps makes it essential. I got 1 Tech in Bottomless Trap Hole and 1 Tech in Dimensional Prison. I had to make room for a couple of Tech cards of my own, like the Rite of Spirit and the made the Gravekeeper's Visionary plays live. So I had to take out a Bottomless and a D Prison. I only run 1 of each. Now, it works because with 12 traps, it's a very formidable back row. Your opponent can't get through it unless they're running 3 MSTs and they're constantly picking off your back row. They pull into the Heavy Storm, and you don't have the Dark Bribe or the Starlight Road set, which you shouldn't be setting 3 or 4 back rows if you don't have the Starlight Road or the Dark Bribe. It's that simple. Now, Rite of Spirit. This card, a lot of people probably don't even know what it does, but pretty much it revives any Gravekeeper's monster. I'll read you the effect. Select 1 monster that includes Gravekeepers in its name from your graveyard and special summon it in face-up attack or defense position. This card's activation and effect is not affected by Necro Valley. Now, I really like this card in this deck because of the low monster count. You know, you have a monster in your graveyard, you can't seem to pull into a Pile of Duality or a monster for some reason. You know, set this Rite of Spirit. It's not continuous. It's chainable, which what I love. And the monster does not disappear during the end phase or after battles or something dumb like that. It doesn't go away. And it brings back this guy, the Visionary, one of my favorite Gravekeepers to ever grace the Gravekeeper scene. Visionary is just such a cool card to me. You know, he has self-protection. He has attack increase. He's an awesome card. That Dark Hole, you know, if he's the only card on the field and you got the Dark Bribe set with a couple traps, you don't even have to waste the Dark Bribe if you have another Gravekeeper in your hand. To discard it, got to steal or delay, get it back next turn. Boom, get 2 back actually next turn, give him double protection, or just give you another monster to summon set up the combo with like an Ascendant or Recruiter or whatever you need. Oh, I almost forgot about the double compulse. Now, with this format being heavily slanted towards Rabbit, you know, until YCS Atlanta, and you're going to get the wind-ups and the Insectors and all that other stuff. This is a 1-card answer to Lagia and Doka for that matter, because this deck relies heavily on effects. You pop that Doka, put it back in the extra deck. That Lagia, that 1 negate, they're thinking they have you. You get a couple back rows back there. You don't have to waste 2. You play this Compulse, they have no choice but to negate. Remove those Exceed materials, both of them. And then you can proceed to set, you know, the beefy Gravekeeper Spy with Necro Valley set, 25, that 2400 Doka with no material, can't get over it. Special summon the Descendant or the Recruiter, proceed to pop Doka in the face or Lagia in the face, and, you know, commence dancing. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the tech choices and why I put certain things in this deck.
I hope you like the deck profile. Any comments you can make or any improvements, any suggestions, anything you say, oh, that doesn't work, that sucks, this works better, let me know. All right, YouTube, sorry for the long delay, but I'm back. And peace. Hope you enjoy it.